watch out for everything football World Cup 2026 related. Uh, well, folks, the semifinals have come and gone. What a madness! You're gonna get our takes, our reactions, our everything from the semifinals. You can just throw out to whatever our last recording because our predictions, both of our predictions, was just But we're gonna give you our takes on what happened in the semifinals and also project to the final and the third place match coming up. So yeah, let's start off right there, guys. What do you think? France, Spain, Argentina, England. Let's go. What are your thoughts?
My guy. Where to start? Well, I don't think it. I don't think it.
Absolute madness.
I don't think that it would be fair for us to start anywhere than saying our predictions were shit.
Yes, yes,
Let's just say that. And I say this.
Wait. Before we say our predictions were shit, I did. We have a group thing, and I did predict that Spain were gonna win the World Cup.
This
But
guy.
I thought I
shit.
messed up. I thought I messed up. But luckily I might be right.
This guy, we predicted 4 different teams to win the World Cup. but it was an amazing semifinals.
It was.
If you can remember, on previous pods, I think we all thought that France would have gotten this one, but we did say, we caveat that with saying if the real Spain showed up,
Yes. Yes.
they could definitely beat France, right? And I had Spain at before anything started. I said France or Spain would win the World Cup, but as the tournament started, I went,
Matches.
Spain just did not look ready for me, right? But we said that if Spain showed up on the day and played like we know Spain can play, there will be a big problem. And that is exactly what happened. Spain showed up and played the best game of the tournament thus far. France did not touch the ball. It was a masterclass from
Was
Spain.
it midfield masterclass?
Absolutely. And I am not surprised. And if you watch ball, you wouldn't be surprised, because what Spain did was what Spain have created, what they have given the world. Spain are the
Yes.
masters of modern football, which is system football.
System football.
Spain
Yep.
gave us that, and that is evident in every Spanish coach and the success that they've had. Luis Enrique is short, fast, efficient football. We press together in our defense from the front all the way to the back, and in our defending, we defend from the front to the back. In our attack, we go from keeper all the way to the forward. That is what Spain did, and at no time in the game did France have control of that game. Spain controlled the game from the first minute to the 97th minute. That is what happened. France just couldn't touch it, and it was amazing, man. No complaint. And France, they have nothing to be ashamed of,
Oh yeah.
because man to man, France is still the best team that entered the competition.
Yes.
The Spanish way of playing, it's not about stars and all of this. That is not what the Spanish way of playing is about. It is about playing the system, playing as efficient as possible. And it doesn't matter if you're a superstar or not. If you understand the Spanish way of playing, you can fit into their system. And that is exactly what we saw. Efficient football at its peak. So I thoroughly enjoyed it and thought that Spain deserved it. It's just a shame because France is out of the World Cup. But we also mentioned something. We said that, I think KJ mentioned this last game, we are down to the last four, and it's the top 4 teams in the world.
Yes.
And in the finals, we have the top 2 teams in the world. So if we're going on expectations,
FIFA
rankings, we are getting the teams that
the cream de la cream.
we expected. So I want to give you guys a chance to come in and speak on the semifinal games, and particularly that one. But yeah, I'm gonna turn it over to you guys before I touch on the England game.
Good for Cheeks.
I'll jump in. You know, I'm outdoors today, so if you hear some fireworks, it's popping over here in the suburbs. But one thing I will say is there were some similarities in both games. This was
Yes.
really a game of managers who are good game managers
Yeah.
versus ethos.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
In both games, you had Argentina playing their way, Spain playing their way. Deschamps and Tuchel are both coaches who are known for their way of managing the game and making subs.
Mm-hmm.
If we talk about the Spain France game, I would say that Olise was frustrated from the first minute. You
Yeah,
could tell.
I'm with you.
Um, I have to give flowers to Rodri. I was aware of his game, but I didn't know he was back like that. After the season we saw with Man City, I wasn't sure what to expect. But he manned that game. He never looked like he was out of control. And I think Arsenal champion said it in the chat. A death by a thousand passes. There were triangles everywhere. It was like a geometry class. And it doesn't matter how fast he said. Every coach tells you the ball goes faster than the player. No matter how
Mm-hmm.
fast you run, the
That's
ball's always going to be faster than you.
yeah.
And Spain took advantage of that. I think it was a good game. France should have their heads held high. It's not that they didn't play a good game, it's that they got outclassed.
Yeah.
And again, I think Uncle Titi, Henri said it. These are people who've been playing this way from a young age. De La Fuente has
Yes.
been their coach since they were kids. This is the under
Mm-hmm.
21 coach. So this is not
Mm-hmm.
learning a new system.
No.
You've been doing the same thing from a young age. It's in their DNA. So
Mhm.
I'm sorry, France. Like you were my I said it earlier. If you look at our work part, I had Spain to win it, but I didn't really believe they were gonna win it, just like Arsenal champion. But they showed us that they are the champions of Europe. No glitz
Mm-hmm.
and glam, just
100%.
ethos.
Bang on. Bang
No,
on.
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. And I will touch on both games and I make comparisons. And I'm glad about something that Cheeks mentioned. It was a coaching or managing of a soccer match clinic from both winning coaches. And if you look at, I'll take the Argentina England match for an example. So compare the two managers. To Scaloni, Leonard Scaloni doesn't get a lot of flowers thrown his way, but on this episode, I'm gonna say he has done a good job. He deserves his flowers, and with Argentina playing, people say, "Oh, Argentina plays because Messi is great," but he found after that defeat to Saudi Arabia last World Cup in 2022
Mhm.
in the first match, he found a recipe and he stuck with it. And that is play to your strengths. Lionel Messi is your best player. Surround him with players who are going to die for him on the pitch, even off the pitch, maybe Rodrigo de Paul. But just surround him with players who are going to die for him off the pitch, do all the dirty work, the tackling, the agitation of the opposing players, and then on the offensive side of the ball, give him some weapons. Give him Enzo Fernandez who can shoot from outside the box. Give him, Alvarez, who in the semifinals, in the quarterfinal, scored a banger outside of the box. So I would say Scaloni found a recipe in 2022 and has stuck with it. And it has won him two Copa Americas. It's won him a World Cup, and it's almost about to win him another World Cup. So that's parts of, and then contrast that with Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel in that semi-final, I think he capitulated. For the fellas, I think it was just so contrasting seeing the two teams play. You you jump into the league in the 54th minute, and then you start to play defense right from there. That's that against a team that includes Lionel Messi. Give Lionel Messi the ball for as long as he wants to attack you. For from minute 54 to minute 90. There's only one result that there's only one thing that can result from that. So again, it's a managerial contrast of ideas and sort of how football is played, and it was really evident in the semifinals. And I could say the same for the France-Spain match. Cheeks mentioned it. These Spanish players have been playing the same tiki-taka football since they were toddlers essentially. So it's ingrained in their DNA. Pass the ball, and the ball moves faster than the player, like
Yeah.
Chiefs mentioned again.
Yeah.
So pass the ball, run. Tiki-taka, and the next thing you know, the ball is in the back of the net.
100.
So absolutely. So I'll leave it there, and I'll toss it back to Arsenal champion to give his take on the England Argentina match.
Yes, 100%. And just before I touch on the Argentina, when Spain plays like this, they're almost
almost unbeatable. Yes.
When Spain are at the top of their game, we are yet to see a brand of football, because system football is the master of the football realm at this moment in time. And we're saying that because we've seen football evolve into different phases. And right now, system football is king. When Spain plays at that level, it's almost impossible to beat them. So let's just get that out there. And that's why I say France should hold their heads high, because when Spain is playing like that, it's very, very difficult, almost impossible to beat them. But on the Tuchel game, I'm going to touch on something that KG said. And in my notes, the first thing that I have is coaching masterclass versus shitting the bed. That's what I wrote down in my notes, because Scaloni, it is probably the one Argentine that I look at as, you know what, this guy, I like this guy, and in football terms. So don't come for me in the chat. But I'm not a big Argentina fan, as you might be able to tell. But Scaloni, he deserves props. And with my whole notes on coaching masterclass versus shit in the bed, let's talk about the masterclass first. Scaloni, 55 minutes, England score. We're like, England came out aggressive. They're pressing. I'm like, okay, England means business. They were playing the game perfect on the counter when they get the chance. They're pressing on to Argentina. That's how you have to play Argentina. You have the talent to do that.
Yes.
England, not any team when it comes on to talent. England can do this. But here goes Tuchel that decides. And I was so disappointed because, as I have said before, I rate Thomas Tuchel as a top manager.
Yes.
I could not believe my eyes. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe what I was seeing. I'm like, please tell me that's not what he's doing. This guy decided that he's going to play 1-5-5 in front of Argentina. He's going to park the bus. I'm like, you cannot do that, especially with the greatest player that we have witnessed in this generation playing on the team. It's not like you're playing some average player, but you are giving Messi time on the ball. And yes, they're defending the box. They're standing in the 18-yard box and saying, okay, you can stay out there. But you cannot do that with Lionel Messi. He does not have to be in the box to affect the game.
To hurt you.
Exactly what you saw. You give Lionel Messi that ball and he creates magic. If Argentina took their chance, this game could have finished 4-1 easily, because Pickford had a massive game of all the England players, and there could have easily been more goals. So shout out to Scaloni for not sitting back and seeing the opportunity. And as a coach, you have to see that. You have to be able to feel the temperature of the game.
It's about moments.
He knew that he had England on the back foot, and he pressed on, of course, with Lionel Messi leading from the front. And they deserve to win that game. And I want to say this specifically because in previous games, we have talked about Argentina and things have been kind of iffy. Why is Argentina getting all of these chances and they are getting away with this game? It was nothing like that.
No,
the referee
everything earned.
Ref the game properly. England had the chance, but Argentina was the better team. The better team won on the day. Thomas Tuchel, very disappointing from Thomas Tuchel. I hear him come out in the media and he's saying that it's in the England DNA. And maybe it is. Maybe it is a part of the England DNA. We're talking about football DNA and what these footballing cultures have been doing from a young age, right? And England, maybe it is because, okay, we have the bigger guys. We're going to stay in our box and we know how to defend and we're going to do that. Maybe that caught up with them a little bit. Right, so I hear where he's coming from, but I think he also has to take responsibility and say,
Yes.
I got that wrong. I have the talent on the bench, and that is what I, as a coach, should have done. Bring on Saka, bring on Rashford, bring on Ivan Toney. You have all of these players that you can say, okay, we are being penned in. I'm going to go two. I'm going to support Harry Kane with a big guy up front. We lump the ball to Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney heads it down. Harry Kane plays the second striker. Now we have them pushing back in their half of the pitch. So I think that he got it totally wrong. He was out coached by Scaloni. But overall, I think the game turned out how it should have, and deservingly so to Argentina.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah,
Sounds good. Yes, go ahead, Cheese.
I mean, I completely agree with Arsenal champion. I mean, when I look at the game, I actually think that Thomas Tuchel saw something that we didn't see. And I hope I'm clear, because sometimes I freeze on the internet. It's always me with the problem.
No, you're good, my
But
guy.
Thomas Tuchel saw something that I saw. That 2-1 score does not reflect that game. That 2-1 score does not reflect that game at all. Anyone who sees 2-1 at the end will think it was a close game. What I saw in that game was Argentina giving belt to ass to England from the first minute.
Yes.
Some of those tackles,
Yes.
the elbow, it was belt to ass. Let's remember, Gordon's goal came against the run of play. I went to go to the bathroom and came back. Yeah, I missed the goal. I went to the bathroom, came back, Gordon scored. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And I think Tuchel recognized that they're not owning this game. And he got scared. But as a manager, Tuchel, you've been hired not to be scared. Because Southgate was scared. And that's why he got fired. So how are you? I think Southgate would have managed that game better than Tuchel yesterday. And that's crazy for me to say.
Yeah.
And again, I think Tuchel's a better manager than Southgate. I'll put it out there. Tactician better. But what I saw yesterday, 55 minutes. You're going down to 5 in the back? Are you crazy?
No.
There's some key moments in that game.
155, my God.
There was a key moment where I thought England might have it. There's one ball where Jed Spence runs the whole field, puts in a great tackle.
Yes.
Puts his fist up. You know what I saw? That was the only time I had hope for England, because I was like, oh, that's some Cape Verde energy over there. Because that's the only way you're beating Argentina. But it felt like Jed Spence was the only one who had that energy.
Yes.
And one thing which I want to say about Argentina, because, you know, when we talk about DNA, what is the English DNA? Long balls, right? Long ball to the top.
Yeah.
They weren't playing for the long ball. What part of what happened to England is they decided to go against their DNA.
Yeah.
What is England known for? Launch it to the top. How are you going to launch it to the top when 10 players are in the box? Jordan Pickford had no one to launch it to.
Who are you launching it to exactly?
So I think England went away from their DNA, and that's one thing I'm realizing in this tournament. It's more than about tactics. It's more than tactics and great players. It's about who's going to stick to their DNA and fully be invested in that style of playing, for better or for worse. Argentina played the way Argentina play, and even when they were down, they still kept playing the way they play because they had faith that their way will work. Couple of things I noticed yesterday talking about Argentina DNA, even though I'm not a big supporter of Argentina. At one point, Lionel Messi gets tackled. Lionel Messi didn't even do anything. Before I looked up, there were 5 players on the referee and on the guy who tackled. It was do you know how, if I was Lionel Messi, if I'm a teammate and I see my players have that much passion towards me, dude, I'll do anything for them. These guys are literally ready to die for each other on that field. And I will say one thing about Spain, because as Arsenal champion said, Spain, you cannot beat Spain when they play like this. As someone who's played, there's only one way to beat a team that plays that. You just have to play dirty. Honestly, you just have to give them one. And Argentina are the team to do that. I have Spain winning, but I think if there's any team that can give Spain a hard time, it would be Argentina. So I think we're in for a cracker. Or it could be that Spain just come out and destroy them. But I think when a team is passing that much, you need to give 1 or 2 heavy tackles. England didn't give any heavy tackles. Did you notice that? England, they even try and scare them. England, you have a big team. I didn't see one big tackle.
Yeah.
The only tackle I saw is when Messi embarrassed a couple of people and they gave him one tackle. But tackling Messi doesn't mean anything.
Apart from Jet Spence, I have to say Jet Spence have got my respect this World Cup.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was just reading this today in the news that he's attracting interest from teams like Inter Milan and big clubs in Europe, Juventus, all of that, and it's very well earned, well deserved. I think he's gotten a respect, just from his play in that single match against Argentina. I think Jet Spence is a baller. Yes, but nice segue.
Finally, he can start playing for a big club if he gets that.
Exactly. Finally, I can't believe that guy's at Tottenham. It's mad. But anyway, continue, please.
Anyway, no, I was gonna say a good segue, Cheeks, with your thoughts on the final match. So I was just gonna segue right into it. What are our thoughts? What are our expectations? And I would say this: as we answer that, let's give our thoughts also on the third place match. Number one question is, should it be happening? Number two is, if it's happening, that is it of consequence? Just give us what you think, fellas. Go for
it. Third place match is a waste of time, my guy. It's a waste of time.
It's just another money making machine for FIFA.
It's a meaningless game. It should not be happening. I'm totally against this third place playoff. Nowadays, when you go to, have you ever? Well, it's a rhetorical question because I know you guys have seen it. When you go to a finals and you play, have you ever seen the second place team going up and collecting their medal? Do you see how dejected they look? And that is the finals. That is going into the finals and losing that game.
Yeah,
it's meaningless. They don't want this silver medal. It doesn't work that way in football. You know what I mean? So having a third place playoff, I think it's a terrible thing. I think they should get rid of it. Players can get injured.
Players don't want to play in it. There's the possibility of injury for these big time stars from both France and England. And the only person only entity that benefits from it is just money making machine from big football organizations. So again, I agree with you, Arsenal champion. I think it should be scrapped, give players some rest, and but that's my thoughts. Go for it, Cheeks.
I think football is a very different game. Football, soccer for our American crowd, but football is very different. You don't have a third place game for the Champions League.
No.
You don't have a third place. Like, third place is when there's a group of people playing against each other and they're all playing against each other at the same time, like athletics, like track and field. 100 meters. But when you've got two people facing each other in the end, what's the point of the third place? I'll be honest with you. When I was growing up, the second place trophy, you used to call it the banana cup. It's the worst cup to win. Like, it's better off not being in the final than getting so close and not getting it. Now, different people have different attitudes. I will admit it. But when it comes to football, this is not athletics. It's not 10 people playing against each other. It's only two teams. Get rid of the third place, fourth place game. Because again, if someone gets injured, it's going to be a problem. Yes, we'll probably get to see Kobe Mainu. We might see Kante tomorrow. We might see some players who haven't had the chance. But I don't know what I mean. I remember who came third place in the past, but it's not really a big deal. And many tournaments don't have it. The day Champions League bring in third, fourth place game, that's the day we're cooked. That's the day we're cooked.
Done, my guy.
Go for it. Yeah, and then thoughts on the final?
Yeah. Well, here we go. Thoughts on the final.
In for a cracker.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an amazing game because we are, as I said before, we are going to see the two best teams in the world come up against each other, and I think both on paper and on the balance of play, how the World Cup went. I would have expected France to make it to the finals, but the team that defeated them and the manner that they defeated them, also the manner that Argentina got to the final, I think they both deserve to be there. And I think that makes up for an amazing game. What I do think, and I'm going to give you what I think will happen. Granted, I've been getting some terrible predictions, but I do think that Spain will take it. If Spain shows up like they show up in the semifinals, as I said, it's almost impossible to beat this team when they play like that. Now, the question becomes, will they play like that? Because we haven't seen Spain put that performance down until the semifinals. So the question is, will Spain show up as they did in the semifinals? But I think if they do, even with Messi on the field, they will still win. Now, this is where I want to caveat it. Because of that same guy, because he's on that Argentina team, he'll just show up and do a madness. So if Spain gives any room, any wiggle room to Argentina with Messi in that team, he can show up and say, I am going to take this game by the scruff of the neck and I'm going to win it. Messi can do that because, as I said, he's the greatest we've ever seen. You know what I mean? So I am going to give it to Spain. I think Spain will win this World Cup based on the two teams that we have in the finals. And I'm going to go as far as give a score prediction. I think Spain wins this 2-1.
A very similar prediction, 2-1 to Spain, but there's a caveat there. It's either going to be 2-1 to Spain, or if Spain decide they're just going to keep going at Argentina and not pull in England, it might end up being a 4-0 or 3-0.
Yeah.
Like I wish I could say I know what's going to happen, but it really, again, it depends on what Spain shows up. Like Arsenal champion said, it could either be a 2-1 grind it out. But if Spain decide we're going to do what we did to France, Argentina don't have the same defense France have. I don't care what you say. It would be a madness. Penalty galore. I think there will be a penalty in this World Cup final for Spain. Because Lisandro Martinez and Romero, that tiki-taka is going to get to their head. Listen, let me tell you something. I always I compare a lot of soccer to the way I play. Because I've played striker before. When you have a team that's just passing around you, at some point it studs up. You lose it.
Yeah.
You just like So I can see it. I can see it going any way.
The whole essence of football is playing the rounded ball, and if the other team is playing the rounded ball more than you are, it will frustrate you eventually. So
let me tell you something. Whenever I see a team, I've played against teams that do this tiki-taka-ish. When you're on the receiving end of it, even I'm screaming to my players, someone take someone out. Just shut it down. Break the rhythm. No, because there's no other way. Honestly, I'm surprised France didn't do that. I was like, someone in France needs to just give it to them. Like one good tackle, get the yellow, just to calm them down.
But that's the thing. And that's why I think tiki-taka reigns supreme right now, because think about it. Like Ruiz and them, you cannot press them because they're so press resistant. You cannot press them because they don't.
The minute you get near, they pass the ball to somebody else.
The only way to get the ball is to foul them. And how many yellow cards can you take? Because they are so good at keeping the ball and that's why I say it's almost impossible to stop this. We haven't found a way. I think that probably only an Arsenal team could pull what England was trying to pull and get it there, because we have we can do both. We can just go mad and just do some craziness from a defensive perspective. But listen, man, if Spain plays that way, man, it's they are so good at it. But I'm gonna let jump in.
Absolutely. I'm going to go for cheese.
I want to say one thing about tiki-taka. I think tiki-taka wouldn't have worked in the 90s. Tiki-taka has been helped a lot by the fact that we have stricter regulation on hard tackles, that we have VAR. Because back in the day, in the early 90s, man, you try that tiki-taka stuff. Referee wouldn't even call the foul.
But it's where the game is, Jigs. It's where the current game is, and you mentioned it. We have so much. We have a 360 view of the game now. Cameras are everywhere. So back in that footballing era, man was running in with church shoes and jumping in your foot, bro. Like you think can do that. No way. But right now,
Q Eric Cantona in the 90s
yeah,
jumping into the stands to,
You don't, you
to
don't,
make a
you
fan.
don't, you don't, even- you don't even need Eric Cantona. Go to any Caribbean league in Brooklyn or Queens. Same thing. You're getting kidnapped.
they're
Yep.
anxious, man. So but it's we're on in the modern game at the highest level of the game, because we have this 360 view of the game. Anything that you do that is deemed illegal, that then you are looking at a card and you're looking at going. Can you imagine going down to Spain, 10 men to Spain? Can you imagine going down 10 men to Spain? You cannot see this ball. You can't see the ball. So, I mean, we haven't come up with a way as yet to stop this way of playing when it has been played at its optimal level. It's just it's almost impossible to stop it.
No, absolutely. And I think to Arsenal champions' point, if depending on the spin that turns up in the final, if they turn up like they turned up against France, I can see the scoreline being run up, like Cheeks mentioned. However, I will say this: I'll be the contrarian on the panel and go with Argentina for this World Cup final because I feel like Lionel Messi and the group of players that he has with him, they would rather die on that field than leave the field without winning the World Cup for Messi a second time. Second time. So, it wouldn't surprise me if Spain just runs up the score and just thrashes Argentina. But my prediction would be an Argentina victory, and I'll go as far as to give a scoreline of 2-1 Argentina.
I want to say something to that, Kojo. I want to say something to that because
Mhm.
I don't think that it's impossible that Argentina win this.
Nah.
Yes.
But one thing
Yes.
I think not enough podcasts are saying this, and I will be the one to say it because I'm ready to be vulnerable on this podcast. My issue with Argentina has got nothing to do with the football. I'll be very honest with you. I think it's got a lot to do with the culture that I perceive to see from the players. The fact that I don't think the players are the cleanest players.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for their character, they are playing amazing football. They have a style and they're trying to do it. But my bias, I'll say it using big words, my bias towards Argentina is really a bit about their culture, a bit about their arrogance, which, as a champion, you deserve to have arrogance. But that's why I don't want them to win. But in terms of them leaving their heart on the field, them playing with
They
Messi,
do that.
they are
do that.
doing amazing.
Yeah,
And I think
absolutely.
a lot of people are hating on Argentina. If you think about it, I don't think it's necessarily about the soccer.
No.
I think it's about the culture, about the fans, but it's not. I love Messi, but I think it's really about the fans and the culture more than it being about the football. But when it comes to football, I think Argentina have like one of the best teams in the world.
100%, and I like that you brought it there, Cheeks, because as you rightly said, not a lot of people, and I'm very open when I speak about the culture of Argentina in the game itself, because I think a lot of times we try to shy away from it, but it's something that we need to speak about and we need to check it so that it should be something that is elevated, because the more we hide away from it, it can fester and become something very ugly.
Yes.
I do agree with you, and even though, and why I like that you bring it there, I think to be unbiased, you have to account for the ability to be biased first, and then to bring you to a space where you can reason this football and be very logic with it. And even though we have a problem with the culture, I think we can also say that this is a very good team. And I also think that if I for one, I'm a huge supporter of Cristiano Ronaldo because of the attitude that he brings to the game. And he shows you that you can work hard, you can work very hard, and you can reach to the highest level. But there should not be any debate any longer of who the greatest player we have ever seen. And if
on a football pitch,
Lionel Messi, you are going out of the realms of football, and it's just hate at the moment. There is no question about it anymore that this guy has brought something to the football world that we have never seen before, and you have to give him those dues. And even though the culture, it needs cleaning up from a cultural perspective in terms of Argentina. We also have to acknowledge that they play really good football. They're good at it, and if they become champions, it is because they are good at what they do.
Yes, absolutely. No, we couldn't round things off on a better note. I think it's important, like Cheeks mentioned. Not many podcasts are touching on this. Argentina, nobody's is discounting or hating or biasing against Argentina because of the football on the pitch. They have great players. They have supporting cast that will die on the field, play their heart out for Messi. But it has to do with the culture and the all the other stuff off the field that comes with Argentina, and that's why that turns off so many people from the team. But from a football standpoint, and I agree with both of you, for the greatest person to put on the jersey and stand on the football pitch to play soccer, to play football or soccer, for me, it's Lionel Messi. No, there's no debate about it. Whether they win, and that is whether they win this World Cup coming up or not. He has given so much to the game, and from inspiration, from skill, talent level, from aspiring the next generation. So I think that needs to be said, and that needs to be said, in its totality. That nobody's hating on or biasing against Argentina because of the football on the field, but because of all the extracurricular activities that their fans and their culture, tends to bring out. So that's a wonderful note to break on. Thank you for joining us once more, and we'll have a final World Cup recap after the final on Sunday. And so, thank you for joining us once more. Go for it, Arsenal champion.
Yeah. Before we close out, I just want to shout out all the fans of the podcast. As you know, we are a new podcast. We have been getting feedback from you guys. Keep bringing the feedback. Keep bringing the comments and the love that you have shown us. We really appreciate it. Appreciate all the feedback that we're getting. So I just want to say, keep liking, keep subscribing, and thank you guys.
Absolutely. And to touch on that, we hit 4K views on TikTok, just our previous recording. So you guys are shooting us into the top.